One is with a marking gauge, and we set it up so the marking gauge pin is set up to that edge here. Right? It's just the width of the hinge. Right? Not to the centre of the hinge, but we're looking at just outside there. Right? So we set it up so it's to that distance there. Right? Tighten it up. We'll set it up to that point there. Alright? Decide where we're going to have our hinge, which will be what distances? 6 down, 9 up, and then central between the two hinges that you've just marked out. So not central to the door, but central to the two hinges that you've just marked out. So 6 down, 9 up is the old rule. That would be now translated to
60 and 90.
No.
600.
No. What are we talking about when we say 6 and 9? Inches. So we've got to translate that into millimetres.
150.
Yeah, 150 down, 225 up, right? But if you remember 6 down, and then the hinge goes down below it, and 9 up, and the hinge goes up above it, right? So you've marked out your 6 inches, down from the top. We will mark out roughly the width of our door, the hinge itself. So we've got another mark on there. The way that I'm getting this square is I'm holding it so that those 2 points that I've marked out are square with the side of the door. So if you have a quick look over here, look. You can see down in there I've got 3 gaps and they're all lined up with the side of the door here. Right? Obviously if it was like that, then you know it's not in there square. Like that, obviously the same way. Over there it's too far out. And if I try and put it so that the hinge itself is in the centre, then that's not going to work either. What we want is we want it right on the edge there so you can see down the side of the door. Alright? When you're marking out your door, every hinge just about will have 3 knuckles on one side and 2 knuckles on the other. So 3 knuckles on one side and 2 knuckles on the other. There's a little rhyme that I learned back in 1982, which is most knuckles to the posties, right? And that means that all the ones with 3 knuckles goes on the door lining all the time, right? That's the one that's taking the weight of the door. This one here is just to hold the door in place. So mosties to the posties whenever you do it. If you've got one that's like this, which is an easy release one, you've got to remember obviously to have that one on the door, because that's the one which is holding it. So it'll be that one on the door, so that you're holding the door up. Right? Obviously, because if you did it the other way around, the door will just drop off. Yeah. So mosties to the posties. Use your marking gauge now to mark out where you're going to cut it. And I'm also, so I've marked it out to the width of my hinge. I'm also going to mark it out to the thickness of my hinge as well. So just there. Right. I can use that for striking a line through there. Another way of doing it on site is just hold it on the door so it's nice and square. Draw around it, and draw yourself a line to work from there. Right? Depends what you're working with. If you're doing something like hardwood door, then you do this. If you're doing some precision joinery, you'd be doing it like this. If you're doing some house bashing, you're trying to make yourself some money, you probably end up doing it like that. This way, I'm going to do it with a chisel, hammer and chisel. Can somebody grab me a mallet, please? And this one we'll probably be with a router. Okay? We're going to do it all by hand. I'll show you how to do it.
Would that be attached to the wall?
With what be attached to the wall?
Would that be attached to the wall already?
This would either be the door.
Oh, right. I thought I had the door lining.
Or the door lining. Yeah. With the chisel, I've now got two nice marks here, right, which I can use to chop down my chisel. Go right to the end with my end grain. Yeah. I'm just slightly back from the line because when I hit it, it's going to fall back into that line. Yeah. Same with this one here. Got them down. Thickness of your chisel. Then turn the chisel round. So normally we'd use it with the back towards us. This time I'm going to use it with the slope towards me. Lower the angle. I'm just chopping a little bit out, down to my line. On the front edge. Like so. Then you get the chisel, just get rid of most of the timber then. And then you've got your line that you put on here with your marking gauge before. You get your chisel in there. Just make sure you run into your line. Chisel on that line. Finish that off. You can see there where I've weakened the timber, it comes off nice and cleanly. And as soon as I get to the solid bit at the back, it's got a lot more resistance. So rather than try to force it up, I'm going to leave it there, come back to it and just take a little bit more out. We're looking for a nice flat finish across the bottom there. There we go. Try it in place. You want to be just below the surface. Alright? Not hugely below, but just below. And then once we've got all of those in place, we pre-drill it on the door and the door lining. So we do this on the door and we're marking out on the door lining. Pre-drill it and then put our screws in. Alright? Okay.
Done.
Yep.